Alright, let's make sure everything is up and running properly. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Alright, let's see. Let's make sure that it's actually streaming properly. Hello, hello. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I wish I could figure out. I know there are ways of setting this up and prepping it, so I don't have to do the first few moments of my stream as sort of like this experimental mode, testing it every time. Okay, looks like... Are we live? Are we live? Let me check here. There we go. Okay, we are good. You could probably hear me in the background testing the audio. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We are in my storage area, and it has been a hot minute since I've done anything video-wise. For those of you just catching up, or for the new members of the server, welcome. Also, there are new members of the server. We'll get into that in just a minute. But I've been busy. Real life has been incredibly busy for me lately. I've just had a kid, and he's joining us today. Hi, BabyBubfish. He's sitting here watching me play, which is adorable. He's just the best, and I'm so excited and proud and happy to have him. And he's just sitting there smiling at me right now, so I'm excited about that. So anyways, what are we doing today? Well, as you can see, I'm in the storage area. It looks very cool. I mean, I think you've seen most of this before. If not here, then in some of the tour videos that other members of BunchaSquares have been putting out. Be sure to check those out. I've added a few things. I've started working on a lava farm here, but I think I'm going to redo it because I don't think it's going to be very efficient. I need to find a good, efficient lava farm, something that might... I think there's a way of automatically collecting the lava. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Over here, we have an automatic cobblestone generator. I forget who the design is by, but I can tell you that it works a treat because I think... Oh my goodness, I've been using a lot of it. But yeah, there's a lot of cobblestone in here. And tons. Way more than there's any right to be. That's just a lot. So, what do I need all that cobblestone for, you might ask? Well, that is for my big project. The reveal. The reveal is here of what my big project for this season is. And you looking at it, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like, if I was looking at this, I would not be able to guess what I'm building, if that was all the information I was working on. But I do know. So I'm building a giant library with multiple quest lines baked into it. It's going to be, what's the way I put it? It's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure type of build, actually. It's going to be a giant game by the time it's all done. So you come walking down this road, and eventually, once I've got the bottom figured out, this is actually going to be the stairways up. This is the bottom of the stairs. Right now, excuse me, right now, all I'm working on is sort of like the base platform. Like, not even the floor of the build. The floor of the build is going to be all the way up here throughout most of the build. So that tells you something about the scale that is going to be happening here. It is going to be a very, very big build. Hi, baby. Hi, baby beans. So, yeah, that is the big thing that I've been working on off screen for the past couple months whenever I get a few free moments, which few and far between, I will admit. But that isn't all. What else is all? What else is going on? Well, I mentioned that we have some new members. There's a lot of new members. we added, I think, almost a dozen people. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some very cool builders. a lot of friends of friends that we're getting in here, which is very fun. I'm very excited to build things with them and to expand the server. Pardon me, I'm tired. Real life, like I said, it's been a busy one. It's been a busy life still, so there we go. I'm probably going to want my fortune pickaxe in my inventory. I went on an adventure earlier on, which is why my inventory looks a little funky right now. Do I have Hearts of the Sea in here somewhere? I don't know what I've got or where I've got it anymore. There we go. This is probably what I meant. There we go. That's good. That's good. You know what? I'm going to put the Hearts of the Sea in there because I don't know where else I've put them. Storage, once this stuff becomes organized, it's going to be much, much better, I hope. Spare elytra should go in the elytra box. Let's go. Get that back in here. Boom. Man, this is a mess. This storage is a mess right now. But that's okay. That's okay. That's why we're working on it. I did get a goat horn earlier on, which is cool. Okay. There's not a whole lot of people on right now. Mostly just me. We got Tally and Swirl, and they're both AFK right now. Doing cool things. Swirl, actually, claimed a bounty that I set for the season early on, just the other day, just yesterday, actually, by building a shulker farm. So finally we have a shulker farm on the server, which is wild. I love it. Oh, hi. Hi, baby. Hold on just a second. We've got BabyBubfish here, who's doing a little bit of wiggling in his chair. How you doing? Hi. Hi. How are you? So yeah, I'll be talking to the baby every once in a while, so if that happens, or if I need to excuse myself to deal with a diaper blowout. Good morning, Salty. How are you? Then just know that that's what's going on. But yeah, so this is obviously the big project. This is the big one. Yep. Swirl did finish the shulker farm. I don't know what's going on with it. I think the collection system for the shells is a little bit off because I went and visited it to give him his reward for finishing it, and it literally was just dumping out stacks of shells onto the floor as I was stood there. So that's pretty wild. Once that gets all ironed out, I think it should be a fantastic addition to this server. Hi, baby. Hi. What do you want? Hi. Are you smiling? Yep, BabyBubfish is smiling at me over here. He's just kind of hanging out, enjoying the video with us, enjoying the stream. So yeah, that's where I've been. That's what's been up. We have the new members, like I said. We have this big build that I've been working on. As I've said, I haven't made nearly as much progress as I was initially hoping that I would, but that's okay because real life comes first. Real life always comes first. So I guess I need to collect some cobblestone real quick. And then I can start doing a little bit. I'm not gonna bore everybody who shows up with this the entire time. I'll probably go out and do something else exciting, excitinger. It's making it more efficient. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going on. That absolutely is the sort of thing that they would do, is make that more efficient. And I mean, they kind of have to. I think that design may be breaking with the next update, actually. So it might behoove them to get as many shells as they possibly can while they can, until somebody figures out a fix for that design. So yeah, basically what I've just been doing, I've been cobblestoning the floor all across this thing with slabs because, I mean, I guess I could have just done it in full blocks, but I've been doing the slabs, so I'm not changing it now. Underneath, it's kind of wild. I don't think I've ever seen something like this over an ocean to the degree that it was turning that much of it dark. And once this is completely covered, that is going to be wild to look at. I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like. Luckily, they legitimately built multiple structures in the past week. They're at the same scale as the ones they've had for months. It's insane. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I mean, copious amounts of free time is my guess. Just unmatched motivation, perhaps? I don't know. But it's really impressive. I love seeing what they do. I always love seeing what the new landing folks do. Fal and Swirl. Shout out to Fal and Swirl. They've just done some absolutely, I want to say Herculean levels of work, but I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. I feel like I'm talking about Poirot. Zing! Agatha Christie joke in the year of our Lord 2024. I'm not even sure if that's a joke. Yeah, best to just focus on slabs. Great deal of drowned spawning under that. Does that actually improve spawn for drowned? If the water's dark? Or do they just spawn at night either way? I actually don't know this. I feel like this is something I should know. Because if this is going to turn into a drowned farm, then I could do something to take advantage of it. There might wind up being farms built inside of this thing. This is not my base. I keep having to remind myself this is not my base. This is simply something I've built on the doorstep of my base. My base is that cave, that hole in the ground that is only about halfway done. And even that's just my storage system. I don't know if I have a base this season. I mean, I had the UFO, but that's getting towed by the police, so I don't know. That was my base. And I guess I've just never really been placed. I mean, I guess the cave storage area is as close to my base as I'm getting right now. And honestly, I don't know if I'm, with my focus being exclusively on this for the foreseeable future. You know what? Here's the thing. Like, I had a bunch of ideas. I'm sure you remember Salty at the beginning of this season. I had a bunch of ideas for like mini games and things that I wanted to do this season, and I think some of them might actually be incorporated into this build. Because I was talking about doing Taskmaster in Minecraft, which I think would be a blast. Bases aren't necessarily needed. Builds do just fine. Yeah, I get that. But I've always had sort of a build that is my base. You know, I guess I don't know if it's not necessary, but it's always been something that I just kind of do, which is, I suppose I'm just taking a different approach to things this season, or, you know, just with Minecraft in general. I mean, out of necessity partially, what with real life being what it is right now and my free time being more limited, I'm aiming towards one giant project. I used to do, and I always want to do, quite honestly, a lot of small projects and have them all build together. Like, all come together into one giant thing, ultimately. So, you know, I'll build a house here and a garden there and things like that. This time around, I've kind of just gone all in on a single big idea that I have. And I'm hoping it'll pay off with something really, really cool that people will want to explore. Salty, if you're still in the chat, Zach Leo's base this season is sort of a microcosm type of something that I want to do with this build. Sort of the hidden objects in the base archetype, where it's a lot more complex than it looks initially. Yeah, hi baby. Yeah. BabyBubfish is just sitting here, kicking his little feet, staring at the screen. Hi. Hi. Aw, he's smiling. Smiley baby. But yeah, so that's I guess just a shift in my approach over the past couple of months. I mean, I knew this was going to be one of my big things for this season, but I wanted it to be one among a few. Maybe I've just shifted my approach based on the practicality looking at this. I mean, this is huge. This is more than what a lot of people will do in a season, especially given that we are a small SMP. We don't have, the notoriety to justify me spending days on end on this. This is a long-term project, mostly for my own interests, my own gratification. Hi, Fal. Hope you're doing well. I was just giving you a shout out for being generally awesome. Shame you missed that, so I'm just gonna trash talk you now. Man, that Fal, he's what a guy. No. Hopefully we will have multiple of those kinds of search the build kind of builds. I know I'm going to try for that in a lot of mine once they're finished. Yeah, but I agree that I love that style of thing. It felt so nostalgic going through that base and trying to find the hidden objects. I don't know if I think I did it with Muddy Puddle. I don't know if it wound up in his video yet or not. I've been sadly lagging behind on a lot of my watching a lot of BunchaSquares content, unfortunately. Just once again, real life comes first, but it was such an entertaining hour or so of my time. It might be one of my highlights of this season, going through that base and just finding, because initially it feels like, oh, maybe there's a few things hidden here or there in that base, and then just realizing that as simple as the base is, it goes on for miles, and there are so many hidden cracks and crevices and different ideas that Zachleo capitalized on with that design. It was intentionally simple to help distract. So, which I think that's so cool. That's so cool. And like I said, nostalgia is the name of the game. This base, to me, is meant to feel like, at least externally, it's meant to feel very nostalgic. Internally, it might wind up being a whole lot more complex than I have in my brain right now, because it's gonna get complicated. It's gonna get messy. I know that for a fact. But I have essentially sort of like I'm not gonna say Stanley's Parable, because there's way too much. There's way too much, or Slay the Princess, or anything like that. There's way too many moving parts for me to be able to do that sort of choose your own adventure. But I do want there to be 4 or 5 solid pathways, and each one having their own, essentially their own mini games to themselves, so that if you really want to experience the whole thing, you have to spend quite a lot of time in the build and exploring the build and looking around. Oh my goodness, there's a little bit of lag. But yeah, that's the ultimate goal with this thing. It does not look like much. I mean, it looks huge, don't get me wrong, but it does not look like much yet. And I'm really hoping that I can get deep into it by the end of this year, hopefully. Did I ever play the deluxe version? You know, I don't think I ever played the Stanley Parable. I've seen a lot of people play it. I've seen a lot of playthroughs of it. I think, if I remember correctly, the deluxe edition got a little too meta with the humor for my tastes. Which isn't to say that the original wasn't meta either, but it was the story is why you go to play a game like that with a choose your own adventure, and it felt to me as if it got a little too deep into, oh, what if we added a pause button, and then having like you simply pause your own existence while the narrator is still you know, existing in the world, and it's like, haha. And then the joke runs for the next, 10 minutes or so of gameplay. I felt it kind of outstayed its welcome, those sorts of things. But I mean, I'm not going to complain. I didn't play the game. I simply watched other people play it. I think Stanley Parable is one of those games where I really love the amount of fun ideas that you're able to fit into a really mundane premise. So good. Superliminal. I don't know if I've ever heard of Superliminal. It sounds like the sort of thing that I would have either seen somebody play or heard of in some capacity. So maybe I'll have to look that up. I'm sitting here and all I'm thinking of is super hot. Super hot. Super hot. That was one of those games to me where there are a lot of games where I look at them and sort of like, how did the devs, settle on that as the core mechanic? It's just such an odd idea to me to focus a shooter around essentially pausing during movement, and you'd think that it wouldn't work, but for some reason it does. It just clicks. What? Hi! Why are you skedoodling over there, baby? Hi! I'm not sure if you guys can hear him when he makes noises or squeaks over here, but he's just laying in his chair, staring up at me, and he'll occasionally squeak. You know what? I need to go and sleep. I need to stop the rain, and I need to make it day. Make it day. Make it day, baby beans. Hi. Hi, little BabyBubfish. Hi. Hi, why are your toes so cold? Oh my goodness. Little ice cube baby. Little ice cube baby. Okay. Oh, yep, you're hearing him. Good. Good. His commentary adds a lot, I think. It's really something different. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, even with all of that I've been doing off screen, I've still got about half of this to make the base of. Like I said, this isn't even actually the floor. This is just to make sure that it feels at the correct scale for what I'm picturing. A lot of this, so the origins of this build. I'm not sure if I've told everybody, what the origin of this build is. And what I'm building. Do I have a plan in creative? No, I do not. I have a plan purely in my head. And let me tell you where that plan came from. I had a dream. Okay? I had a dream of this build from a particular angle where I could see it in the distance in the game, and it was... I knew exactly what it looked like from the beginning. Like, that was... It came into my head fully formed. It was just like, bam, this is the build. Build this build. It will look awesome. And that's what I've been working on, or working from since the start of this season. I've been working off of essentially that one subconscious mental image. And the biggest thing for it, the biggest thing for it was the scale. And getting that scale correct for what it looks like in my brain. And that took some trial and error, for sure. But that's why it's so ridiculously huge, is because when I dreamt of it, when it came into my brain, it's huge. It's massive, and the scale of walking up to it is meant to be as much a part of the adventure as whatever is inside it. I think originally it was just going to be a giant library. That was kind of going to be it. But I've added so many more things in my mind to what will happen next. So I'm looking forward to it. It's such, I hope it's such a cool idea. I think it is. I certainly think it is. And to be able to just say, hey, I made this based on a dream. As dumb and as corny as that might sound, I think that that's awesome. That I can just go in and say, hey, you know what? This is the power of Minecraft. You know? My subconscious enjoys the game enough that it gave me blueprints. It's so cheesy. It's so cheesy. But it's true. It's true. Yeah, so that's basically where this is at. No, there is not a plan in creative. This is all coming straight from the heart, straight from the warped mind of yours truly. Originally, I was going to build this out over a dark oak forest because part of this is I'm picturing, you know, great big trees underneath and beside it, and maybe a jungle or something. Originally, I was going to do that. But recognizing the scale of this means that it's actually easier to like put in a few trees here and there. It's Cloudsy has joined. It's Cloudsy is one of the newest members. So let me just give a quick hello. Yeah. Very cool. Big builds and big dreams. Exactly. That is. I generally shy away from building things in creative first, especially if it's a smaller okay, if it's a build that's not specific resource intensive. What do I mean by that? I mean if I'm building something that requires a lot of, say, a terracotta, a particular type of that, then I might do it in creative first and see if it's actually worth it. This, the biggest budget breaker in this is going to be when I need tuff and bookshelves. But I'd probably say a good 60% of this frame is just going to be not cobblestone, but stone and stone materials. I can always make a forest in it later, and that is actually part of the goal. Part of the ocean will be grassed over, and there will be dark oak eventually, and potentially, if I feel really ambitious, once I get later on, I might build sort of a fog effect using glass. You guys know what the fog effect is. I might do that out under the building, so that as you're walking up, it looks like things are fading into the distance. My actual plan, to kind of lean on the nostalgia and the mystery of the build, excuse me, is to have people set their render distance super low, like, you know, 4 or maybe 6 chunks at most, so it really feels like you're coming into something that's mysterious and ancient and from an older era of Minecraft. It's going to take a lot of the. It's going to take a lot from the like I said, stone pallets. Tuff. I'm going to need a lot more of than I have. I'm going to need so much tuff. Fal learned his lesson last season when the walls didn't line up at the corners. Did your walls not line up at the corners? You know what? You probably could have fooled everybody. You could have probably done. You know, like where the walls looked like they had collapsed or something. You know, the thing is, like, I like adjusting on the fly. I guess maybe more than a lot of people do, and like I said, it took me some experimentation to make sure that this felt to scale with the idea I had in my head. And I actually built up this stairway 3 separate times, expanding it each time, because initially it was sort of like, that's not quite it. And then when I kept building out in this direction to sort of create this front porch area, excuse me, yes, this is just sort of the front porch. I had to rebuild it a couple of times, but it wasn't bad, you know. It worked out. What do you got, baby? What do you got, BabyBubfish? Yeah? Are you smiling at me? Do you like being a BabyBubfish? Do you wanna jump in? Do you wanna play sometime? Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, smiles. Yeah, I think a few years down the line, and we'll have another new member on the server. Yeah. Yeah, won't we? The towers were a bit out of line. Some of them were a little wider. Some of the gatehouses were narrower. Yeah, you know, but that's character. You know, it depends. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, you know, even and balanced builds, first off, don't come to me. I'm gonna make errors all over the place, and that's fine. You know, imperfections are better than incompletions in my book most of the time. Like, I'd rather have a build that's not quite exactly what I wanted sometimes than to have not finished it the way I want to. And which let me just say, it's very frustrating to me as somebody who never completes his builds. I've never completed a lot of my big builds that I've wanted to in the way that I've wanted to. But I have completed a lot of others, and that's way more satisfying to look back on. Yeah? Yeah. How you doing? Have you got the hiccups? Hold on just a second. I'm gonna bring him up, and he's gonna say a few words here. Alrighty, here we go. Let me pick you up here. Hi. You got the hiccups? Hi. Hi, baby bean hiccups. You guys saying that you'd help with the bookshelves? Yeah, I really would appreciate that, because that's going to be a huge cost going forward. I'm going to need so many just regular bookshelves. I'm going to need tons of chiseled bookshelves, because that's actually... Chiseled bookshelves and lecterns are kind of what are going to drive the story forward. Because there is going to be... like I said, it's going to be choose your own adventure to a degree. And... yeah, that would be wild. That's gonna be wild. If this works out the way that I plan. Because another thing is, a part of the reason that I'm leaving so much space between this and the actual floor is there's likely to be under the floor segments of the story. There's likely to be redstone elements that I'm going to have to learn to do, especially with lecterns in the bookshelves. Oh my goodness, I have phantoms. Oh my goodness, hold on. I need to set baby down so I do not die. Baby, you sit right here. I'm gonna get out of here. I thought I slept. Why are there... okay. Oh, looms look good mixed in. That would probably be nice to add some looms. At some point, Swirl and I should come and help you full-time for a week or something. That's not necessary, but that would be awesome. CJ Stahl, hello. Where is this phantom even? I'm not, wait. Are they under, wait, did they get under? I'm missing something here. I am confused, guys. Did somebody have... I didn't see the phantoms once there. I feel like somebody may be pulling my leg. Is there like a daylight sensor that triggers a hit on a note block or something? Slash delete phantom. That's funny. Oh, even the baby's laughing. Hi. Hi, come here. Yeah, was that funny? I think that was funny too. Based non-fire aspect user. I don't... Is it because I'm not using fire aspect on my sword? Actually, what do I have on my sword? Looting, mending, sharpness, sweeping edge, unbreaking. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't like fire aspect because half the time when I hit something with fire aspect, they come back and hit me and catch me on fire. So, that's never fun. Oh, boy. Okay. So where are we at? Ah, yes. Baby in my lap. Getting the cuddles. Hi, little cuddles. And back to the build a little bit, I guess. That's fun. I'm hearing tornado sirens in the distance. It's that time of day for the tests, I guess. They do it around noon and stuff. Actually, no, it's earlier than that. Huh. Well, maybe tornado's coming, folks, and this will be the last you hear from us. But let's make as much progress as we can while we can, right? That's how that works. I'm already in the basement. I'm already in the bunker. So if there is a tornado, I'm already in a good spot. Isn't that right? Yeah. He's looking at me. He's just like, what is Dad talking about? Making up stuff again. Yeah, so I'm really, really pleased with the scope of this season for a lot of the people on it. People seem to have embraced the, build your big dreams sort of vibe that we were going for. And I really hope that carries through, especially for the newer members. There are already some crazy builds popping up. Crazy being the best way I can describe it, I guess. My use of adjectives is failing me. But maybe I could just show you in a minute here. I'm gonna make a little bit more progress though. Yeah. We are rolling with it. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not doing this in the most efficient way, I'm sure, but I have fun with it. Swirl and I will be here till the end, beyond 100%. I know you guys will. I mean, like, you took last season and played with it solo for ages after the series was done. I mean, the kingdoms had disappeared long since, and still Pope Falchum was kicking around there, showing that world what for. I don't think there was any mycelium left even before the end of the season. You'd completely terraformed that. That's one of those things. I wish that I hadn't. I don't know. Kingdoms in hindsight, I loved the idea of it, but there were too many individual kingdoms, and there wasn't enough of an emphasis on collaborative play. As in, there wasn't enough of an emphasis of building next to one another. And that's to some degree true this season, but at least we have Spawn Town. This is let me see. Season 1 had a good Spawn Town. Season 2 did not, I don't think. Season 2 had an okay Spawn Town, but it never really went anywhere. Like we had like a half a dozen shops along this waterway, but I was trying too hard to have sort of like a uniting visual theme for it, and it kind of cramped people's creativity, and I think I kind of made that mistake as well with the kingdoms, where given the world that we'd chosen, or that I'd chosen, it was a good concept, but I think we needed, it to be only 3 or 4 kingdoms, and they needed to be, essentially have a reason to bump into one another, and to have builds cross over between the two. Basically what I'm saying is I need to, if I want to do something like that, I need to make the world smaller, which is ridiculous to say, because that was already pretty small for where people were focusing on building. But one of the things that really makes me enjoy playing with people, it just is having people be next to each other and actually talking with one another and playing with one another. And we have the voice chat, the proximity chat mod, in this season, and that's been great for it. But it just never. Everybody still takes off and goes their own way and goes thousands of blocks off into the distance. Oh, hi. Hi. How you doing? Yeah. And sometimes that just doesn't lead to the sort of group play that I want to have happen. And sometimes that's just the people. Sometimes that's the world. Sometimes there's a lack of imagination from some folks that I have to keep in mind, that's just the way some people play. Some people, want to build things that they've built before and farms that they've seen before and rush through the game, and that's what they want to do with it. Hi. But I was watching a great analysis video where somebody was sort of responding to criticisms of Minecraft. And one of the criticisms that was leveled was, it's like, well, the progression system is terrible, because once you get to a certain point, you've got all of this stuff, and then you defeat the dragon and it's all over. It's sort of like, but that's not the point of the game, right? The point of the game is to enjoy everything about it, and to explore, and to find, and to build, and to shape the world the way you want it to be shaped. And if the way you want the world to be shaped is a straight line through the content, then I feel like you're missing a lot of the point. I mean, you've got to take that roundabout route and explore other aspects other than, oh, I'm just going to beat the dragon, or, oh, I'm just going to get netherite armor and beat up my friends. That stuff does get old quickly, because there's only so much you can do with that part of the game. In most instances, you can acquire as much as you like. It's what you do with it that counts. Anyways, that's beside the point. I'm going off on a philosophical spin here. Let's see what people have been saying. Many things were missed by not having a finishing episode from myself. Wish I could have seen Barry the Beetroot. I do wish I could have. I don't know what happened to my world save of BunchaSquares The Kingdoms, but it's not proper. It doesn't work right, I don't think. So I don't know what's going on there. That's a bit concerning to me. And I don't think it had a lot of the last minute modifications. So I do wish I'd done that properly. Season 3 was pretty great. Season 3 had a great start. That was when I think, you first joined, and when Master Shrill first joined as well was Season 3. And Season 3 and Season 4 were sort of a continuation of the same line of thought from me, which was if I get a nice island with a lot of possible building places, people will just take inspiration from those places. And that's another thing that I feel a lot of people maybe miss, because a lot of people feel the need to go way off into the distance to find just the right spot, and then they completely change the spot over time. You could have just stuck nearby, completely changed the area that you were in nearby, and, you know, gotten the same result in the end while being closer to friends. So, I don't know about that. But really, Season 3 and the Kingdoms were both attempts on my part to get people to play closer and more collaboratively, but both were kind of hamstrung by a number of factors, not the least of being which that just wasn't what people wanted, wasn't to do that particularly. So I'm still working on that. This season has been great for it, mostly due to the additions of, like I said, Prox Chat has been huge. So yeah, there's that. I personally see progression as completely secondary. I really don't care about gearing up phase, which is why I get it over and done with. Yeah, see, like that's the cool thing. Like, some people will hit that grind, and once they're done with that grind, they see the game as over. And that's actually, you know, one of the cool things about the way West Landing approaches these things is once they've done the grind, they actually do things with it, you know? So that's great. The gear and dragon killing is just what needs to be done to get the tools to build what I want. Yeah, see, to me, that's the correct way of looking at it. I mean, I enjoy the dragon fights, even though I haven't done a dragon fight in what feels like ages. I was unable to join in on this one because I wound up having to work that day, I believe. But, don't know where I'm going with this. I'm rambling a little bit. But I think you're 100% correct, basically, is where I'm going with it. Progression for me is just a means of efficiency. Once you get all the tools, you can actually do good progress building. Yep, exactly. And once again, like, what I was watching was talking about a criticism saying that, oh, yeah, the progression is bad because once you've got the good stuff, as in gear, the game's over. And I do not understand that. There's a lot of people who... My favorite one is, and we've actually had a few members of BunchaSquares over the years act this way, and I don't really know how to address it, where they say, you know, I've done everything to do. And I look at their bases, and I look at their tools, and I look at everybody else's bases, and I say to myself, really? I mean, you've done all that you wanted to. I get that. But, you know, it's a creativity tool. You get in there and you do what you want to do with it, and you move on. If that's what you want to do with it, I'm not standing in the way of your fun. But forest for the trees much. Wow, I am losing viewers the longer I talk about this. I had 5 people watching. I'm down to 2, and I think one of them's me. Wow. I think the issue comes from approaches to Minecraft. Minecraft isn't really... Okay. Yeah, someone's definitely messing. But that means I get to mess right back. Do. Oh, me too, but it's 1 a.m. So Foul, get some sleep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where was that coming from? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. I figured it was Cloudsy. I figured Cloudsy was out there causing some shenanigans. Bub's base is haunted. You know, I would not be surprised if by the time I build it, there are probably some ghosts in its walls, because this is going to be... It's a big build, you know? Plenty of places for ghosts to slip through the cracks. Alright. Man, I build so chaotically like this when I'm trying to do other things. It's odd to me that more people don't consider co-op play on the server. Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. I do think that there is something missed by people, you know, building just their own things. I mean, I'm guilty of it as much as anybody, so I don't really have any room to talk, but you know, so basically, who do we have as teams per se? I mean, we've got New Landing, obviously, and then we have like the Not Lich Pirates, and like they have an excuse. They're married, you know, like they play together, you know, automatically. It's by default. But you know, it's weird to me that more people don't sort of team up to tag team some of the bigger aspects of the game. A lot of people still do solo play, which is not a bad thing at all. Okay, where is this even coming from? I'm sure it's invisible, but I've just gotta play the old horn. Actually, you know what I should do? I should throw some music on. Who wants some music? Gotta get some music up in here. There we go. I think it comes down to scheduling. People need to be able to work out times they can discuss and build together, then add the content, and be able to record that as well. You know, you're right. There definitely is a lot of that, but just because you're building and playing with somebody doesn't mean that it has to be all the time. You know, even some of the time is nice, and a lot of people don't even do that so much. A lot of the people, it's sort of like, I mean, myself included, like, I have a place for my things that I am going to build, and Spencer, this build is mega, Bubfish. It sure is. The content hurdles of being able to record as well. Yeah, absolutely. Playing together while you can, though, you know, that's a positive thing. Hello. Oh, invisibility potion, if there is one, is worn off. Man, the music cutting off. I'm having fun with that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is going well. Yeah, having just somebody sometimes to play off of is a good idea. One of the new members, actually, shout out to Nikki Noodle, who's joined. Brand new. She is brand new to the game, more or less. She's played mostly creative, I think, on the Switch is primarily what she's played on before, but picked up Java in the sale, and that'll be exciting to see of how she goes through this, because I'm an IRL friend of hers, and having her on the server is just going to be a blast. That's going to be fun, because my guess is they'll probably wind up near my base somewhere, just because I'm who she knows, and she's understandably a little nervous. Nikki, if you're seeing this down the line, don't be nervous. It's nothing to be nervous about. But there's a certain intimidation factor, and with the intimidation factor is sort of a need to, you know, maybe hang out with people and maybe learn from them directly, and maybe that's part of the thing, is we've all learned a lot of what the game has to offer, so we don't feel the need to go to one another to make the most of it. Does that make sense? Like, we feel like we're sufficient enough to understand everything the game has to offer most of the time, and we don't feel like we need that, not a crutch, but yeah, the crutch of another person being there with us and for us. But that means that we're also missing out on the interactions, and the interactions are fun and worth it in and of themselves. Salty says, well, yeah, also the issue of people having their own projects they're working on. Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's a lot harder to compromise your own big ideas to work on somebody else's things. Especially early game, I feel. A lot of people kind of want to scrabble their way through that and get to the later game, but I'd argue that sometimes that's when you need it the most, is early game, and pull each other up by the other's bootstraps sort of situation. I don't even know if that makes sense. I just know there aren't enough hours in the day or days in my life to get the builds done that I want to get done. Yeah, that is absolutely 100% true, but boy, are you a trooper with it anyways, Val. I mean, good gravy. Can only achieve so much alone. Yeah. There's only so much that one blocky person can do in a day, and at the end of that, oh my goodness. Hey, BabyBubfish, I'm boring BabyBubfish to sleep. Yeah? How are you doing? He's still in my lap here, and he's still looking at the screen, just kind of relaxing. Yeah? You're yawning. Yeah. Yep, time management is the other issue. All of us have lives and jobs. Yep, time is limited. Yep, collaboratives is a trade-off against personal goals. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's why part of that is why I actively haven't asked for any assistance when it comes to this project. Even though a few people have offered, which I'm thankful for, I haven't asked that commitment of anybody else, because this is a big me project. Hi, are you talking? See you later, Fal. Hope you have a great one. Get some good sleep, my guy. Oh, hey. Yeah, hi. Oh my goodness. I might have to go and change a diaper here shortly, so I may leave my guy in the capable hands of the base ghost. Oh my goodness. It's not that big of a deal. Wow, I'm almost out of another inventory worth of slabs. That's wild to me. Okay. So I've done that. I'm just going to go and put myself in my base here. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Intermission. I will be right back once BabyBubfish has been cleaned up here, because I think he probably pooed. Yeah. Okay. All right. I will be right back. Little BabyBubfish. Little BabyBubfish. baby bubfish, little baby bubfish. Little baby bubfish. There we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. Okay. We are back. We are back. Okay. Hi. Yeah? Yeah. You have a clean diaper now. Yeah. Hi. Oh. Oh my goodness. I know you want to play, but you're too small. You're too tiny. Hi. Tiny baby beans. Okay. Alright. Which way was I? Nope, not this way. There, that's the way. This is the way. Okay, beans. Okay, beans. Little baby bean bag, little baby fish stick. Hi, fish sticks. Yeah. Okay, everybody. The two of us are back from our adventure. And BabyBubfish is a little upset, but he will get over it. Oh, no screaming. No screaming. Okay. So maybe I think he might actually want to go. Okay, alrighty. Okay, he's telling me it's probably time to go and do real life things with baby. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and wish you all a fond farewell. Thank you so much for sitting with me for the past hour-ish on this stream. I've had a lot of fun, made a little bit of progress, and hopefully I will see you more frequently here soon. This has been, you know, a long time coming. It's been forever since I've actually been able to jump in, and it feels really good to be able to stream again, even if it is for an abbreviated amount of time. So anyways, this has been this time. That'll be that time, and I hope you've enjoyed, even though we kind of ended on an intermission. Say goodbye, BabyBubfish. Yeah? Yeah. 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 He doesn't know what he's doing. So I will catch you all later. Have a great one.